Holy smokes! Is it Friday night? What? Ladies and gentlemen, well, here we are with a little bit of a Friday night live stream with some actual stuff to talk about. I did, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. You're on it.
Why do whenever we go to like high
So
five
bad.
or fist bump, when it's on
So
camera, we completely miss?
Yeah, let's, hey,
That's
you guys
not how it is
wanna,
normally.
should we start over?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's just
give us a second. Okay, so anyways, what's up everyone? Happy Friday evening to all of you guys. Welcome to the most stuttering live stream you can find on the horror side, the channel that takes you through the fog. I hope you guys are doing well. We've got already over 100 people right now in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. So, we actually have stuff to talk about. Surprise, right? And it's not stuff that we're just pulling out of our ass and trying to get going. We actually have a speculation map that we can break down and discuss with you guys from HNNightmares. This is version 3 that we're talking about. And if you guys notice, obviously, the star of the show, Stephanie, was not with us for the past 2 videos.
Sorry.
Just been busy. She also got sick
sick
for the first video that she wasn't there, so I took it over. Then I got sick.
Yeah.
And then we're getting ready to get an early night's rest because we actually were going to get up in the morning and do some videos and had some filming scheduled and all that stuff.
I had work too.
And yeah, and work. And then the other night, HNNightmares drops a late speculation map. So
I was in bed, like
ready to knock out.
Glasses on, teeth brushed. I had already had like my like bedtime like tea and supplements. I was like, I'm not getting up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Steph was ready to knock out, and I just looked at her and I was like, all right, I'll go do this. And so went ahead and took care of the spec map video and basically just kind of broke down a couple of the changes. Didn't want to get too much into it. Why? Because we have a live stream where we can actually fully dive into it with you guys, and you get to hear Steph talk about her opinions on it. And we do have a lot to discuss. There's a lot of things on this spec map, properties and the overall atmosphere to it. And like I've been saying this since the first live stream of the year, counting down to this HHN, the logistics, the layout of the event is what I'm really worried about. And still to this day, after seeing that spec map, it really confirms it. But I want to make sure everybody can hear us, see us. Everything is rocking and rolling. We did move around a couple of things, and we're trying some different equipment stuff out. So we're getting ready for the house to be moved into. So all the scenery and sets are going to be changed. We're going to start packing up here soon. And geez, guys, buying a house is hell. Holy smokes. They keep pushing back our date. It's ridiculous. But at some point in the next few days, we should be moving into the house and changing all the scenery. So that's going to get situated, and we can finally get back with our content more. So, but ladies and gentlemen, I think we just dive right into it. I don't think we waste any time. I do want to say this live stream, we're going to go for a record. We're trying to break the longest live stream we've had yet to this day. I think that's got to be 2 hours at least. I don't know if there's some change in there. I'm not too sure if we have to sprinkle some minutes in there. If somebody could check in the chat for me, let me know what the longest live stream we've had in time, and then we'll actually get involved to break that record. So let's go ahead with all of you wonderful people. Let's pull up the spec map. Also, Shayna said 2 hours and 22 minutes is the longest.
Oh, thank you.
So 223 is the goal then. I didn't even think we had 228. It's crazy. All right. Bada boom, bada bing. Here is the beauty called the speculation map. So, as you guys can see, we get our 10 houses, right? We got some roaming hordes, cool, right? We got Death Eaters out in Diagon Alley, and we got 4 scare zones on this. Now, we're going to get into the houses first, then we'll get into the scare zones and the horde and the layout and stuff later on. But before we dive into the houses, I do want to make a quick note and mention, remember, this is a speculation map. So none of this is like official stuff, except for the things that have already been announced by Universal, which is Chucky and The Last of Us. Those are the only things that are official. And even their location on the map isn't official. It's not like where these are being built. Now, just wait until Universal says that it's official, basically, overall. And I do want to mention, too, this map may not even be a full map. So hold on to that, and we'll explain why soon. But ladies and gentlemen, so starting off with the spec map, we have the 10 houses. We have a couple of changes. Some of the stuff that has remained since the last spec map. We got Universal Monsters, Paris. So we're not really distinguishingly like just talking about a specific monster. We're talking about an area. Mm-hmm. So monsters that can be related to the area or even a story in Paris itself. Then we also have the guitar with the little devil horns kind of hanging out of it. That's kind of been lingering around for the past couple of speculation maps. We still have the Exorcist on the map. Interesting. We also have this little town with the pentagram on it. So that right there, that's been on it for the past ones. We still have the dragon with the little castle that's been on it. Chucky's been on it in The Last of Us. And then some other things have kind of tweaked since that. Stephanie, go ahead. I'll let you say.
I was just going to say, we also have Richie Rich just joined the Fright Club. So welcome. You're better at that stuff.
No, I like the way you said Richie Rich joined.
Richie Rich.
Richie Rich joined the Fright Club. How did you do it? Do it again?
No.
Okay. Richie Rich joining the Fright Club. What's up, my man? Welcome to the Fright Club, bud. Appreciate you. The Fright Club beginners. And to be honest, like we're gonna work on some like when people join the Fright Club and stuff, we'll have on-screen elements. That's all in the process. Steph doesn't know all the work that's going on just yet. So guys, get excited. Don't let Steph bring you down. Don't let her bring you down. Don't let her bring you down, guys.
How I feel.
Don't let her bring you down. All right, so I think the first thing we need to talk about when it comes to the houses, though, and I know everyone's mentioned it, Stranger Things. Let's talk about Stranger Things, shall we? Right? Now that it's actually on the spec map, I think we can talk a little more about it than kind of feeding everybody with it. Stranger Things has been speculated for a long time. Last year, speculated. This year, it's been speculated, and there's rumors on and off. And last year, the kind of overall word, as you will, is that Netflix and Universal couldn't come with an agreement. Like that relationship kind of broke up, which we were really devastated because they're like, there's some good properties with Netflix to actually be featured. And that's not just Stranger Things. There's other things too. And as you guys can see, we've had, obviously, The Haunting of Hill House was there. That's a Netflix property. We had that back in HHN30, and that was a well-done house. We've enjoyed that. Probably top 3 of that year, I would say, in houses. I've enjoyed it, at least. So, yeah, the Stranger Things looks like it's being speculated. A lot of talks that we hear from inside stuff is pointing in good directions for Stranger Things. And they have it here in the Sound Stage Season 4. I want to know, Steph, go ahead and put in the chat if you can get a poll going. I want to see what you guys think of Stranger Things being on the spec map. We're going to pull a poll up. Are you guys excited to see Stranger Things 4 on the map? And it's not like, and it's one of those, of course, this is not official or anything, but with it being on the map, it's showing good signs that we might be talking about it at the event. So would like to see what you guys think with Stranger Things 4. Personally, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think I would have been more excited if it was last year, just because like this season was like brand new and everything.
The hype and all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I am still really excited. Like we talked about last year when this was speculated, I feel like this season was a really good season for a Horror Nights house. We have like the Creel house, we have the lab, like all of those scenes were like very much more like horror, more adult than
a little more mature
than the first few seasons. So yeah. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, overall I'm excited to see Stranger Things 4 in the event map here for the speculation map. And I mean, Stranger Things, the whole vibe, I enjoy the vibe of Stranger Things and the way it is and what it could bring to the table for Horror Nights. And they just have to do it right. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is like merchandise is going to be great. It's going to do well. It's going to bring a lot of revenue in for the company. And I would love to see one of those little, like, what is it, the posters or the boards or whatever they got of the houses up on the front. It'd be great to see Stranger Things back up there. And I'm wondering if we can even get some music while you're getting up to the front of the park. Maybe a good old... I
was going to say, with this season, you have that whole kind of underlying plot with like the satanic panic and like if they had that type of music like Metallica and all of that, Dio and everything like playing throughout the park, that would be so cool. I would love that so much.
Yeah. And also I know somebody just mentioned in the chat too that Japan announced basically everything their event. We're going to get into that later. Actually, there's some interesting things we want to talk about with that later. But overall, I know we dove into the Stranger Things and talking about the house and stuff like that. What do we got in the poll right now? I mean,
94% yes.
Yeah, like a resounding like 94%.
I didn't even think of this, but Tom and Nikki said, if they don't have the clock going off in the queue, I'll cry. Remember like the sound of that, just like the clock and how it's like kind of distorted? Having that either playing like in the queue or in the house, I'm sure they would have that playing in the house at some point. Like that audio is like super creepy. So I love that.
We'll get into the layout and all that stuff with the event here soon. But I do think there's a lot of moments that Stranger Things could bring to the event, and that's not just in the house. We're talking about outside for the event itself, the layout, the logistics, and the theming itself. So that's something we'll dive into as well. But very happy to actually see on the spec map. I know we get a lot of people like going back and forth with each other in this community about Stranger Things being a house or not being a house and stuff. And really all I got to say about it's like, guys, relax. It's speculation. It's fun. Enjoy it. If you don't think it's coming, then you don't think it's coming. If you think so, then you think so. So what? It doesn't matter what you think because Horror Nights is going to do whatever they want, which is unfortunate because right now they suck.
Yeah, so. Honestly, if you don't want Stranger Things and like you're not excited for the house and it does come, just be happy that you don't have to wait in what will probably be a 4-hour-long line.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, let's talk about the overall of the map. I don't think you've ever told the audience what you feel of the map itself, what you see completely, all from scare zones to houses and all of it.
I'm excited for it. I am happy with it. There somebody, I can't remember who said it, but somebody commented exactly how I feel. I saw it a little bit earlier that I like the content. I'm nervous about the layout because there's a few things just like layout wise that I'm not excited for or not happy about, I guess. And mainly just that we don't have that scare zone at the front of the park.
Yeah, and that is something we're going to talk about later. So the layout, like we have talked about it. I have mentioned it. You have mentioned it since the beginning of the year.
That's the only thing that I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's the one thing that we've been really worried about. So still more to get into with that in a second. But keeping it with the houses and stuff, The Exorcist still there. Some of the other things we mentioned. We got this the dragon with the castle and stuff still at that location, possibly being a Dueling Dragons house, which I'm going to throw this out there for you guys.
God.
We were actually walking around Islands of Adventure about a week ago.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was about a week ago or so, and I was passing by in the Lost Continent, which is an amazing land, and it's something that Universal completely abandoned, and it's sad, to be honest. But there was one of the stores right across from the All Hallows Eve boutique that has like some of the Lost Continent like merch type of stuff where you got like knights and dragons and things like that. Still kind of like the old memorabilia that they had with the park. And there was a giant dragon head. I'm talking massive dragon head, guys. It was huge, right? It was only $200. Like, I was expecting this to be well over $600-800 or whatever, compared to what at least the other products that they had in the store for sale. I mean, they had little things that were like $200, right? They had this giant dragon head for $200. And I was talking to the team member that was there working the register or whatever. We were talking about it. He said that he's kind of surprised why it's so cheap and all. So I was like, man, like, do you think we could talk Steph into letting me buy that? Because I want to put that front and center. Boom! Big old dragon head. Because now it relates to HHN. If we get like a Dueling Dragons house, and it's like this, the castle and the dragon, and it's like we're staying in theme, you know?
And this was right after we got like all of our closing costs for the house. I was like, no.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I don't know if you guys think that's a cool idea. Let me know. Or somebody just give us $200 to pay for it. We'll buy it. But getting back into the map here and stuff. So, you know, we got Chucky, we got The Last of Us. I'm excited to see The Last of Us. They're keeping it in the parade building. I would like it more in a soundstage, but I do think if it stays in B108, I think that's a great location for it because they can really theme the front of the queue. It seems like B108, in my opinion, is the only location out of all the locations really that gets you from the queue line. It gets you prepped for the house. It still has like the music. It has kind of a story build to it. It's the only thing that has an interactive queue, as you will. The other stuff, they're usually delayed and stuff until they get anything like projectors, some of the sound stages. But other than that, it's like you're just waiting in the switchbacks until you finally get into the house and then you experience it. Last year, we had the Weekend in this location. If you guys been to the Weekend, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you walked up into the queue line, you had his music playing, you see the front of the house and stuff like that. And granted, that's all that was there, but really, like, that's all you at least need minimum. You get that music going, you know, you got to get a vibe. Next thing you know, you're moving through line. Your mind is not in, well, I'm just standing here and I'm just waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. Like, oh, look how much longer we got. At least you have the music going and it builds good conversation with people. So this is one place where they have it that I'm actually really happy to see it. I can hear the guitar riff. I can see some possibly they have Joel and Ellie's truck that's kind of crashed out in front. That could be really cool. Make it decayed, getting into the house and stuff. I think that'll be a neat little entrance to get inside and kind of keep the queue line like interactive in some form. Yeah. So that's for those. Now, the one in the top right, as you guys can see, the one with the C in the middle. Now, this was in the last speculation map. It was a like carnival tent with some like fog or smoke behind it. And now we actually have somewhat of a logo to it. And I know some people have been mentioning stuff. For those of you that don't know, this is actually, I think this was like, I don't know if this is the exact logo or kind of a take on Jack Schmidt's logo with the JS in it, referring to Jack Schmidt, which is the clown icon Jack. and now we have a C. So, and there's like an O, of course, around that, but it's like, you know, Oddfellows Carnival kind of thing, you know, the Carnival of Oddities. So that's looking like we're going to probably get the Oddfellow house in this location, back in the tent, which I would like to see this in a bigger location, to be honest. Something like they did with Carnival Graveyard, right? Carnival Graveyard, if I'm saying that right.
Carnival Graveyard
Rust in Pieces
was Jimmy Fallon.
Right? So soundstage location there. Mm-hmm. So I would have loved to at least seen it over there. But nonetheless, it seems like we are getting an Oddfellow sort of presence in a house. And then, of course, we have that horde up in the front, which we'll get into. That shows that too. So are you guys excited for Oddfellow though? Like to see it like really like, okay, not only was it speculated, we had that little bit of a leak, we see it on the house and we see as a horde, like Oddfellow being kind of a main point to HHN.
I'm also a little...
Spam in the chat real quick. I want to see ones if you guys are excited for Oddfellow, or twos if you guys could give, yeah, no cares for my man. Go ahead, Seth. Sorry.
I'm a little confused with the location of the tents back there as well. Are those because they're like right next to?
Yeah, so we'll get into that with the layout and all that stuff a little bit later. But that's just because Kid Zone doesn't exist anymore. Remember, that whole place is under construction.
So those are potentially where the entrances are.
Yeah.
But not where the tent is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna make you probably do a whole bug situation and walk around Men in Black to get to the little sprung tents.
Gotcha.
But looks like we're getting a lot of ones in the chat. I'm actually not seeing any twos. I'm sure somebody's gonna put a 2 in there now. Just
Alex Roy said, when do you think we'll find out about Oddfellow and what he looks like? Not sure about when, but I am also really interested to see like kind of how they, like the character design for him, like how they make him look. I hope he's like really creepy, not just like, I don't know. The way I'm picturing it, the way I think that they'll probably do it is like the mayor or
Sweet's
the mayor.
Revenge. You're
Not
talking about
mayor.
You're talking about mayor or the Sweets.
Yeah. That's what I'm picturing. But like carnival-y.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I want it to be like more creepy.
I do hope that what they do with Oddfellow, I do hope it's a little more sinister. Like he has like a sinister vibe to him where people see Oddfellow and they're like, well, this guy is more terrifying than Jack is. Mm-hmm. You know, where it's like, I want to see more of this guy. Like, you know, okay, forget Jack. I want to see what's going on with this guy and his backstory. Because the backstory with Oddfellow is that, you know, he was wanted for some things he's done in the past.
Yeah.
And when Jack, of course, was doing Jack stuff, Oddfellow did not appreciate it because it was going to get the police hot on his trail. So then he murdered Jack. Well, the guy who murdered Jack, the clown, is going to be the guy that we experience at the event. I want him to be like serious.
Yeah.
I want to see something really dark with this and stuff. He was the one that ran the carnival, that hired Jack in the first place. And I actually have a big theory about Oddfellow and Jack and the whole theming for the event these past few years and what it's leading forward to. And I think we mentioned this in the last live stream where I talked about it with you guys, that we're going to have that video in August, and we're building up to that here soon. I think that's going to be really cool for you guys to see.
I like what Mary said too, that they should make the like HHN tickets. If Oddfellow is like the icon for the year, they should make like the actual tickets to get into HHN look like carnival tickets. That would 100%. Be so cool.
100% agree with you on that, but I will probably put so much money down that HHN will not do that. No. I don't even think they thought of that, to be honest, unfortunately. And we're going to get into the whole HHN hate moment here in a second, guys. Like
we did that last week.
We're building up, folks. Get ready, strap in, seatbelts in. All right, so that's the Oddfellow house in that location. And then skipping on over to Monsters Paris, from what I'm hearing, it's a lot more than what we think it is. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. Just know that house is bigger than what you're thinking it's going to be.
Which one?
The Gremlins house. The Monsters Paris house.
Oh, okay.
that one's going to have a lot more than you guys think. And we'll just keep it at that. And then the last one I really want to talk about when it comes to the houses is the one that's up in the front where Hell Block was, and that has the trees with the little slash going right through it. Yes, this one has been very speculated to be a Bigfoot house, something related to what we had with Slaughter Cinema and the Swamp Yeti and something around that vibe.
I don't want that.
Period. Moving on.
They keep doing the Yeti from Slaughter Cinema, and that was, to me, the weakest room in Slaughter Cinema. Stop with the Yetis.
I'm not against it. I think it'd be really cool. I really hope that no matter what this house is, and the reason why I think you'll change your mindset with it, I want this one to be a campy house. Like, I'm talking like 1970s, going to the woods.
Oh, you mean like camp?
I'm talking
not campy, like funny.
No, both.
Camp.
I want both. I want it to be a campy camp house. Like, I want it to be hysterical because it was in Slaughter Cinema. If we're getting, the Swamp Yeti, Slaughter Cinema, it has that comedic aspect to it, that campy vibe. Then we're talking about being in the woods. So I want something kind of like what Us did back in 2019. If you guys went through the Us house back at HHN29, you had that first entrance scene. And even Stranger Things did this too. Stranger Things did this where you were walking in some of the rooms and the scenes you're walking in. It was like you were outdoors in the woods. They had trees and all that stuff. And it felt like that. So I'm hoping that this house gives that vibe. You have the giant Bigfoots and all.
I like what Tom and Nikki said about a Wendigo, or someone else said like a cryptid. Like, it would be so cool if that was like had to do with like skinwalkers or something that. Like, that would be awesome, especially because I feel like that's like kind of has its moment right now. Like, you see all that stuff about it on like TikTok, so people are like more kind of like aware of that. And I think it would be cool in a house. Yeah,
and to kind of follow along with that, like we had Chupacabra last year. We had like urban legends that they've been trying to explain at HHN, and we can get into like cryptids and things like that. And if we really look at it, I mean, Florida's Yeti is the Swamp Yeti, like, or what's the Florida skunk ape is what it's called. So it's like that could be the story about it. It's the Florida skunk ape, and it could just be really like comedic, and it could be in like 1970s outdoor woods camp, like summer camp vibe.
Were you planning on bringing up your idea that we talked about?
I'm getting into it now, actually. Yeah. So the reason why, and if I have reasons of what I mentioned in the speculation video last, I almost said last week. That was like yesterday. That I posted yesterday, and everyone's like trying to correct me on certain things, but it's like there's a reason why I mentioned it. The first one with this house, I said werewolf, right? My idea for this and why I really want this to be the campy house is how incredible would it be if Universal did an original house, and this is the location, this is a little symbol they want to go with, and it's based off of Eddie. Not Jack's brother. I'm talking about Eddie the werewolf from Universal's horror makeup show. The robotic, animatronic Eddie werewolf and stuff. Like, how cool would it be if they had a Universal horror makeup show house where Eddie does get on the loose and all that stuff, and it's basically a whole house about him. I think that'd be something really cool to play and tie into and stuff, to give horror makeup show their own house. And it's based on Eddie. We
were talking about this. We were saying, like, it'd be funny if they even, for like horror makeup show for that period of time, like during HHN.
Eddie Timmon, by the way, said he appreciates us talking about his house.
If they like kind of not rewrote, but they changed some things in the horror makeup show during the day for during HHN, and then put like a sign over like the Eddie, like the little curtain that says like,
it's like caution tape, and it's like missing or something, and like the curtain could be ripped up and stuff like that. And that means, of course, they would have to change their operations, for the show. I don't think it'd be crazy because the people who work at the show are incredible. They can improv very well, so they can learn something pretty quick to do with that. All you gotta do is shred the curtain a bit, put caution tape, put a whole warning label, a missing sign, and when they do that announcement at the horror makeup show, they can go along with it and physically promote every show to that audience that, you know, it's going to be a house at Horror Nights in a sense, and kind of talk about it and lead to conversations about it, and then just kind of create the story of what's going on building up to that house, of how like Eddie escaped and all that stuff. They can really build into that moment. I think it'd be funny. We
were talking about it, and we were saying that like if it is kind of the campy or the funny house, you can even have like one of the scare actors is like Dora.
Yeah, or like even at the end of the house, you can hear legit like the theme song to Dora.
Yeah, because in Horror Makeup Show, the actor who is explaining what Eddie is says like, "Oh, it's for a kids show," and says something about Dora. I can't remember exactly what.
Yeah, so. I don't. What do you guys down for like a horror makeup show house based on Eddie the werewolf, like going on the loose and stuff like that in a camp? I think that'd be really cool. So, anyways, those are for the houses and stuff. That's what we got right now when it comes to it. Only 2 of them are confirmed. The rest are still speculated. But I would say up to this point right now, about 80% of the map is looking pretty decent. I would say about 8/10 of it you can count on, and that includes logistics. That includes all that is on it currently. But like I said, it's speculation map. So also, let me see what I got. Also, hey, real quick, I'm just seeing this in the chat. Hold up, I saw some people saying, "Can we get some firm handshakes and claps, guys?" Universatile said, has nothing to do with HHN, but I think this is much more important. Just got the results that I am cancer-free and finished my last chemo treatment.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. Hey, congrats, man. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. Kick cancer's ass. Everybody, can we get some congrats, by the way, to Universatile in the chat, everybody? Yeah. Come on, blow it up, please. That's awesome, man. I'm just going to keep his name on the stream. I'm just going to keep it up there for a minute. So as we move on, and everybody's giving a big old congrats right now, let's talk about the one thing that really got under my skin when I saw the spec map. And I had to continuously remind myself, this is just a speculation map, all right? Relax. It may not even be showing everything that's there. But I only see 4 scare zones, guys, right? We got Vamp 69, which you guys know us. We love the Vamps, of course. So we're like, cool, sweet, love to see it. Jungle, which I'm actually excited to see. I really hope that they make, if it's in Central Park, I want them to really incorporate this to look like a jungle. Like, I want it to be somewhat difficult to walk through.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
I'm not that excited for that one. I'm sure it'll, like we were saying, were we talking about this? I think we were talking about this before we started the live, but spec maps in the past, like sometimes we were talking about like Puppet Theater and how on the spec map it just said like mannequin house, and then it somehow turned into Puppet Theater. And maybe that's what this is. It's like jungle, but like maybe it's way more specific than just jungle. I want to put up on the screen for you guys. I have an idea. It's not an idea, but this is what I would personally love to see. I know it's not going to happen. Maybe it's Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. Whatever. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. I gotta find like the right picture though. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. It's just gonna be the Rainforest Cafe. Oh God, that actually is horrifying. That would be a nightmare. Can we? I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm gonna stop this screen real quick. Hey, look, you can see us bigger. What do you guys think if the jungle theme was actually an IP? And this is what we got: Predator. That would definitely be creepy. Could you imagine seeing a bunch of these walking around? A bunch of Rambo, Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of type of guys walking around and stuff? You know? What's the matter? It's definitely... What's the matter? CIA's got you pushing too many pins. It is definitely humid enough for it to feel like a jungle. Look at that. Predator. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. Tyler said it's going to be Amazon Cannibals from Planet Hell from Slaughter Cinema.
Hey, there we go. We just have a Slaughter Cinema year. I know.
Fine
See,
with
there
me.
you go. There you go. Right.
I love it.
All right. So let me go ahead and pull this back up. Put up.
Yeah, that is kind of a small area for like a big IP or something like that.
Yeah. It won't be an IP there. That's the first thing when I saw Jungle. That's all I thought of. I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to see that, but that would never happen. All right. So moving on, Universal man. Hey, congrats again. By the way, that's awesome. And I love all the love that we're seeing in the chat, by the way, for him. All right, now moving forward again, we're going to go around counterclockwise. We're heading into the randomly cut off little scare zone here. A lot of people saying it's Krampus. If it is Krampus, I think it'd be a cool area to see it. The only thing I'm really hoping for is that we can really see San Francisco, because it's a small scare zone. San Francisco is small. And what I think that San Francisco needs is to stretch out. And one thing we've talked about this in prior live streams, when you guys are walking from New York towards Fast and Furious, there's that whole open section towards the left. That's where they have the like the first aid center and all that stuff. It would be neat if they can put some stuff from there all the way towards the back of San Fran and really expand it so that there's more throughout. You can put more scare actors throughout. That'd be great and stuff. But then you can spread the stages out, because San Francisco and that whole area, it gets so congested with anything that they do there. And then when they have like the stages like we had at 30 and 31, it builds crowds. That is like one of the most difficult places to just walk through. So I would love to see them spread it out. And I would love to see like if they could do like one of those easy put together stages that, they could easily put out on a forklift, bring together or whatever. I would love to see that where the first aid center is, because I think that can draw a huge crowd up to that section without blocking any through traffic. I would love to see that. And then just have the random scare zones and scare actors pieces and all throughout San Francisco. Yeah. That's what I would say. Now, a lot of people are saying it's Krampus. Cool. If it's Krampus, I'm not against that. I would love to see that. I like a winter themed.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it'd be cool.
That's it?
Yeah.
So you got, yeah. There you go. So San Francisco. And then bring this guy up here real quick with the 50, Mr. Jim Daniels, Slim Jim in the chat, everybody. Do you think HHN dragging their feet eventually is going to backfire on them? Well, Jim, I'm glad you asked, because this is something I want to bring up. Had somebody message me earlier on Instagram, said they're doing Groupon deals for Horror Nights tickets. Now, I don't know anything when it comes to like discounted tickets in a sense and the backstory for all that, how long they've been doing Groupon. I think they've done Groupon multiple times for HHN. But for me to see at this point in July, for them to put Groupon deals for Horror Nights right now, the question is, does that indicate that they are hurting on tickets, or they're not projecting? It's either they're not projecting to hit as much as they want to, or are they looking at the numbers right now and they're like, we're not hitting what we did last year at this time. We need to start putting discounted stuff out.
It's just like, it's so early for discounted stuff.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised to even see that.
They haven't even released anything. Fear passes.
We have nothing. Absolutely nothing announced. So do we think HHN dragging their feet eventually is going to backfire on them? Yes, 100%. And I think we're starting to see that.
We see people in the comments of their Twitter every time they tweet something saying, we're still waiting on buying our tickets. We're going to forego this year. We're just going to wait until next year because we want to know what the houses are before we plan our trip. And it's just getting more expensive the longer we wait for the hotels, for flights, things like that.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm going to bring up something quick for you guys. So, and this is like what we're getting right now, like they just posted this today, and it's a picture of two eyes, and if you put, the brightness all the way up and you check it out and stuff, I'm trying my best to keep my composure with this. Because when you look at these cropped out eyes, and it's not cropped out, technically it's a picture of someone's face and they just darkened it up. right? And I'm talking like somebody with the pen just kind of scribbled. You can tell the cuts. It's not clean. It's not precise. It's not professional at all. This is weak. And I'm sorry, but like, if we're talking about, is it going to backfire on them? And it's not really like, I'm not bashing the fact that they're putting stuff out. It's the fact that the audience is like, we're really fed up at this point. We want to know what's going on. There's a lot of people waiting for stuff. We get messages all the time. And I'm talking like 20, 30, 40 messages a day of different people asking, hey, like, when is the tickets going to be announced? Do we know what's going to be at the event? We're waiting to plan our event, but we're losing time to plan it. We're going to miss out on the event because we don't know what's going to be there. Is it worth it? All that stuff. Yeah. We always say, yeah, it's worth it all the time. But at this point, I think they're burying themselves deeper and deeper. We've been going off on it about it and stuff. And it's just a little disappointing. But then we get something like this and it's like, okay, cool. Glad to see that's where we're putting our time into. So.
Yeah. People, USMC.
I'll swap over things. But yeah, Jim, my man, it's great seeing you back in the chat here. And thanks again for the 50. Yes, 100%. It's backfiring on them. 100%. The fans of HHN right now are they're upset, and that's where it's hurting them. And also, my computer is
struggling.
Yeah, struggling.
I'm
trying to refresh it. Okay, cool. Bringing up our man here, Brad, by the way. Your brilliant Discord is providing evidence that the eyes post is actually the eyes of Max from Stranger Things. Evidence is holding up well.
That's cool. I saw somebody compare it to the guy who plays Vecna as well.
Yeah, I didn't see that one matching, although
no,
for the Vecna one.
No.
Here's the thing, like, what I want to know, and by the way, Brad, thank you for the 5, my man. Appreciate it. Everybody chat, cheers for Brad. Cheers for Brad in the chat. My man's been working hard with the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, I keep forgetting to do this. If you guys haven't already joined our Discord, what we're doing right now is dropping the link in the chat. So you guys can go ahead and chat amongst all of us here in Discord about Horror Nights, everything that's going on every single day with the community. And we will be hosting another after party tonight after the live stream. So our man Brad, Brad the man, right? Brad from the pit, right? What was it? Brad from the pit. So
yeah, I do.
Yes, sir.
I do agree that if they come out with Stranger Things, once they announce that, ticket sales will go up. People will start buying tickets, planning their events and stuff. So I don't think that they're too worried about that, but it's like, come on.
Yeah, and what's disappointing, I know I'm a broken record. A lot of times, Stephanie could probably, test that as well. Like, I'm on repeat all the time, and I can't tell you how many times I've said this in our live streams, in our videos and stuff. But where's like the cool promotional videos? Where's the website? Where's those things that enhanced the event, that made announcement season what it was? The reason why we are here today talking about speculations and announcements, making live streams and content, and chat with you guys, Discord, all this kind of stuff, is because Horror Nights had something of an announcement season that was so strong that people became fans of the event for it, that this was a time for us to really just talk and get involved in the event, besides waiting for the event to actually start. It's the only event that I know of that really does this to this level. It really is. I don't think there's another one out there that does as much as what the Horror Nights community does in the announcement season. And it feels like we're getting the wind sucked out of us right now. Like, nobody has the hype and the excitement for it. Horror Nights, you don't have to announce houses. You don't. You can hold on to that if you want to. But just make like a cool little promotional video, man. Just get something together. It takes just about 2-3 hours. Put some old clips in, get some cool music and stuff like that. Throw it out there and stuff, and say select nights, September and October. Tickets on sale. Boom. Just get the audience excited. That's all we want. That's all we want. Build the excitement. Get people, pumped into the top. Yeah. All right. You get what I'm talking about. Broken record. So let's keep moving on with scare
Spec
zones.
map. Yes.
My fault. Sorry, folks. Trying to keep it calm today. Trying to. Headed on over to the hieroglyphics scare zone in New York that everybody wants to try to correct me, saying that it's zodiac signs and not hieroglyphics.
Is it zodiac signs?
No, it's 100% zodiac signs. I said hieroglyphics in the video. And yes, everybody, it is zodiac signs. I know.
That's interesting.
I know. But yeah, so like a zodiac sign, like scare zone, are we talking something from original concept where we want to play the idea with
The zodiac.
the zodiacs and stuff? Or do we want to do something that is IP related? And the streets of New York is usually where we get IPs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a big zone.
So
that's weird.
I honestly, though, I would prefer to see it as just an original scare zone. And it's based off of your zodiac symbol. You got Taurus, you got Scorpio, Pisces, you know, like Sagittarius, like you get like all those. And I mean, think about it, like Scorpio, get like some mutated scorpion kind of thing, you know,
yeah,
like
I guess.
Taurus, this half man, half bull kind of, you know.
See, like if it was in any other area, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds cool. But like New York's the like main scare zone. Like, I don't want, I don't know. We'll see. Is it like the zodiac signs, or is it like the zodiac?
The Zodiac.
Yeah, like the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, just him.
I don't think so, because
that's too much space to do, and it's also a little serious.
A little serious.
It's a little serious. Like I don't think we try to do real.
There aren't really
events.
like, I mean, yeah, that wouldn't work.
So
yeah,
I
that
don't
is
know.
interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, but I feel like because of the fact that there's so many different zodiac signs, that there's so much they can actually add in that scare zone and fill it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. But like, what would the decorations, like the props and stuff be?
I don't know. Space. You have to take a rocket ship and fly to see this. So I don't know, but I'm not against it. I'm open to the idea. And it's one of those, like Steph was saying, this is in New York. So like this has got to hit it.
Yeah.
Because this is the biggest scare zone that they have. This is usually where I would argue to say that this is where the most life in the event is located. This is where you got like all the houses in that corner there. You have that whole scare zone. You used to have the tribute store there, which was great. We'll get into that in a second with the whole logistics. But yeah, so I don't know how they would do that, but I'm not against it. I'm up for it. And really that's my whole take on the spec map is like, I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to it, but I am extremely cautious. And I think it's just more so the layout than what is on the map property wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For instance, like I'm going to say it right here. Like I'm excited for Stranger Things, right? I'm excited for this Dueling Dragons house, you know? If The Exorcist comes to the event and it's the original one, okay, cool. Yeah, I would like this. I would like to see that, sure. Then we got the little witch, little town pentagram thing. Okay, I'm open to the idea of it. We'll see what it is. The whole like Yeti little woods one and stuff. I'm really excited for that. Monsters in Paris, I'm excited for that. Last of Us, of course. The little guitar one and stuff, we'll see how it goes. Originals, they could be hit or miss. And then the Oddfellow one, yeah, I'm up for it. So I feel like I got more positive feeling with the properties and with the scare zones I'm positive with. But then the layout is what really is hurting me. What is that?
This is, it's one of the Valoria did a super chat about it.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Valoria and the Goals, by the way, with the $4.99. I think they may be referring to last year's Dark Zodiac scare zone in Singapore, which I'm
cool.
I'm glad. Hold up, real quick, before you say that, I'm actually glad that we got people in the chat talking about some of the international events. We are going to be getting into a bit of the details with Japan here in a second too. So I'm glad that people are making references to that because I think you guys are on the right track.
Crazy.
Let me pull that up. Where'd you find that? That's in Singapore?
Yeah. Just Google HHN Singapore Dark Zodiac.
Oh, okay. 1 second, guys.
I have like huge sets for this too.
How did you pull it up? Just in fandom?
Yeah.
All right, 1 moment, folks. I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. I just gotta get all these ads off the screen.
Erica said that it's the zone from Singapore was about the resurrection of the 13th sign. It's interesting. I like the scenery that they used.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up for you guys to check out because I want you guys to see the photos. All right, so this was from Singapore. So as you can see, they had this huge like structure to go through.
Yeah. There's a stage and everything too.
And I don't know about you guys, but the if you guys look at the buildings to your left and right, that is like New York. So like this is what it would be like in New York.
Could be cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm down. You know, earn $200 bonus here, right? Okay. Get all that.
It's not gonna go away.
Let's see if we can get some more. Like, I mean, look at. What is that?
That might be. I don't know.
Anybody know what this is? Okay, so we got Venom in the streets. Another photo of Venom. And then look at this. I mean, what is this? It's like a little. This is like their little stage show that they have. But this is huge. Look at the sign on the top.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all, hold up. I want to mention this. Steph and I do plan this year we're going to go to Hollywood, but we have a plan for our show where we are going to take you guys to each Halloween Horror Nights in one single year. We're going to fly the globe and do all 4 Horror Nights one year. Probably won't be for the next like 5 to 10 years because of how much it costs. We cannot afford that right now. But that's something we want to do. And I kid you not, I saw some things with Japan and Singapore a couple months ago, and I keep browsing in just to see it because they go all out, guys. I kid you not. Look at this. Could you imagine with that first picture that we showed you guys here? I'm going to pull it back up. This first picture here, like imagine that in New York. Like as you're walking, and I'm talking about walking straight, like past Minions crap, like when you pass that, that is there.
I will say that there are way too many people at our event for that to work.
I don't think so. I think they can make it work. I think we can pull it off. Mm-hmm. If they were able to build a barn in Central Park, they can build this in New York, 100%. Easily. I think they could do some, and it doesn't have to be a full thing. I'm talking just like the gate like that. That's it. It's just 2 pillars people have to watch out for in the street. I think they can pull that off.
We'll see.
So I'm down for that, and then seeing this little like stage show thing here, that looks cool. I mean, look at that. Ooh. Okay, yeah. All right.
That's pretty cool.
If this is what we get, like Dark Zodiacs, like it's like what is Dark Zodiacs? Like the darker side of your Zodiac, right?
I guess.
I think in Zodiac signs, like you have your Zodiac sign, like for instance, like I'm a Taurus, Steph's a Scorpio, but then there's a darker version of our Zodiac sign.
I think you're just thinking of like your moon or your rising or your...
Yeah, it's like the sun and the moon. Like, I'm not into that stuff. I don't know how it works, but please,
I don't think that's
let me know. Please let me know, guys. How does that work? I need to know. But Gloria Nichols with the $4.99. Hey, thank you for bringing that up. Those are some cool pictures that we were able to dive into. But yeah, I would love to see something like that in New York.
That'd be cool.
That would be great. And then Karen here with the $4.99. They're coasting, not worried about attendance. So why spend? I strongly disagree with it because HHN is what it is because of the fans, but it's all about the bottom line.
I agree.
100%. That is exactly the route that
we said this, I think we talked about this last week on the live stream, but like from a business perspective, I get it, but it is frustrating like as fans, especially because they got us so used to having this announcement season and all this hype and, you know, giving us little videos and everything. They got us used to that, and now they're like taking it away. It's like, it's frustrating, but I do get it. If it's not necessary, they're not going to do it, just money wise.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just like how they've been. And the only way that we really can make it stop is if we vote with our wallets. So just don't go, don't spend money, don't buy the drinks, don't buy the merch. But in the day and age that we are in right now, like, nobody's really going to do that. And we get so many like newcomers to come to the parks that, you know, they're going there for the first time, or they're going to go there for their one time ever. So it seems like this is just kind of how it's going to be, unfortunately. But hopefully HHN gets the memo and they can say, hey, you know, let's step it back up for our fans, and let's give them that credit that they deserve. So Karen, hey, for the $4.99, much appreciated. Thank you. Hey, back to the spec map, right?
Yes.
I got excited with that Singapore stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, we need to go there.
If Steph and we're going to start saving up to do something like that, like I told you guys, we talked about it. I think we mentioned it last year or whatever, we were talking about it. We'll try our best to go see all the Horror Nights in 1 year for you guys. All right, so let's get back here to Orlando and get our little spec map back up on the map here. So there you guys go, right? Spec maps with the scare zones, but there was only 4. We're missing the one that was in the front of the park. When you walk in, I mean, you could see it even before you walk in. It had, you know, the iconic Halloween Horror Nights little like arch there and stuff with the lights. There's nothing on the map. Now, my positive side of me is saying, hey, like maybe they didn't put anything there. We've had spec maps in the past that didn't list all scare zones or all houses. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, that could be it. Or they really don't think we're getting a scare zone here, and the reason being is because it's all minions, and that minions really is taking over HHN, so much so that they completely hacked one of our scare zones away. Now, if Horror Nights were to bring like an 11th house, okay, I could see the trade-off if we could do some more additions, but I don't want them saying, oh, but Brian, look, we have Death Eaters in Diagon Alley, and we got 2 roaming hordes. That was more than last year. Horror Nights, we've had years where we've had multiple roaming hordes. Death Eaters, we've had them in Islands of Adventure over in Hogsmeade. So bringing them to Diagon Alley, although, yeah, that's kind of cool and all, that's no addition. Like, we also enjoyed being locals to the fact that we'd go to Horror Nights for Stain Scream, do a few houses, park would open up to HHN, and then we would actually hop over to Islands and then do the Death Eaters over there in the Hogsmeade area and close out Islands to go back to Universal to do the houses and stuff. So for them to say that, it would really bother me, because really we have 10 houses, 5 scare zones, we had 2 shows, and then you had roaming horde in there and all that kind of stuff. Now you only have 10 houses, 4 scare zones, and 2 shows right now, but one of them may not even be the Lagoon show, possibly. And that's that Vamp show that's kind of rumored. Now, I do want to bring this up too for you guys. On the official website for Horror Nights in Orlando, they are still saying that there's 5 scare zones. So my question is that 100% accurate? Or has Horror Nights been so far behind they haven't even updated their website to the fact where like, oh, it's actually not 5 scare zones, it's 4 scare zones. But, you know, we got a horde up there. And for those of you that may not know, the roaming hordes, they're not permanent scare zones. Like, scare zones have props. They have scare actors out there 24/7 and stuff. The roaming hordes, they're kind of just a
24/7.
Yeah, they're out there 24/7, 365 days a year. But the roaming hordes are basically just a themed chainsaw group. So it's just a couple scare actors out there with chainsaws or something like that. And they'll rotate a little bit in their areas, and then they'll be there at some point. Sometimes they're not there. That's why it's just called a horde. It's roaming. It's not stagnant.
Unless they're counting one of those hordes as a scare zone, or the Death Eaters as a scare zone.
It's a weak excuse that Horror Nights would have. I do want to say, though, one thing that I could be okay with if they don't have that scare zone in the Minions little land area is if the Carnival of Oddities really feature Oddfellows stuff, and they do put some props at the actual like ticket like turnstile little areas. And so much so that it even goes out to the arches, and we have the roaming horde even going out to the arches like we've had in years past, where we have an actual carnival themed to the arch, and you actually have scare actors out there too. So even before you get into the event, you have scare actors out there. That I can be like, okay, cool, we're expanding a bit. I might be okay and let it slide. But currently right now, I'm really disappointed that it's not on the map, but it just might mean that they don't have anything speculated yet for it. So,
yeah.
Anything you want to say? As I feel like I talked forever. Just you want to take over?
No, I agree.
Let my voice rest. What do you think about the Megan horde though?
I think it would be. I just want to say, I think that if you don't have that entrance with like the little like arch that says Halloween Horror Nights on it, and like something there, it's just gonna feel like empty, and it's gonna feel like you walk into Horror Nights and like the music's playing and you see that like the first thing that you walk in, and like there's so many people that are walking in right at the entrance that if it's just a roaming horde, like they're gonna get kind of mixed in with other people. When you see like the props for that first scare zone, like you can see it over all the people, and it really like it feels
like the gateway, you know. I mean,
yeah.
when you're in City Walk and you see the arches, you're like, there it is. But when you even get to the arches and you look to the park and you saw the Halloween Horror Nights with that like little thing, which I know they're not going to have it every single year. I get they have to change it up, but when you had that, or you had a scare zone that was permanently there, there's music, there's lights going on, you hear screaming down the road, you're like, oh my god, we're getting to go to that.
And even last year, we felt like that area was lacking, even with all that stuff. I really missed them having like fire. I loved was that 30?
30, yeah.
That they had like fire coming out of like the top. Like, I think that it's perfect for like the entrance, and if they don't have that, like it doesn't even feel like you just walk in and you're like, okay, we're at Universal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really hope that there's something there.
I'm nervous, and we're actually about to dive into it right now. I'm going to open it up and stuff. I know Chris Williams said maybe it's just pulled forward a bit, similar to Pumpkin Lord last year. But the thing that I'm really worried about is the layout of the park. Where Pumpkin Lord was last year is where we have, you know, the Minions land symbol and all that. And now we got a brand new permanent little like food booth stand or something like that there. There's no space across the street where the Universal Store entrance is. There's no space for anything prop-wise to go there. You cross the street, you have the Today Cafe there. So they really don't have anything in that intersection that they can put down. It would have to be further back into Minions Land, or it has to be way up towards the entrance, which I know they won't do that for the fact of how that is such a main area for just mobility, basically, that I don't see them putting large props and sets and stuff like that there. So I'm a little worried, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I do think that people were saying that the Villain Con is set to be open by then, and I do think that if that's open, if we don't have any more delays, if that is open, it's going to be like so new that they might want to have it open for HHN. And then that's going to, you know, create somewhat of a bottleneck if there's a scare zone there as well. So maybe they just don't want like both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just this whole I just feel it's a logistics layout nightmare right now with the event, and it's freaking me out, guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm worried. I'm excited for the event, guys, but I'm just worried with the direction of it right now. Also, Discord link dropping again in the chat, by the way. So make sure you guys don't forget, we do have an after party after our live stream that's going to be in our Discord. We are in an hour in just about 10 minutes into the live stream. We have to beat 2 hours and 22 minutes. So we are about halfway right now.
Nice.
Yeah,
anyway. So before I started talking about that, Brian had asked how I feel about the Megan Chainsaw Horde. And honestly, if Megan is going to have to be at the event, a chainsaw horde is the only way that I would want to see it. I don't want a house. I don't want like a full scare zone. A chainsaw horde is kind of cool though. Imagine like a bunch of like Megans just running around with chainsaws. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't care for Megan at all, but for it to be like a chainsaw horde gives me a sense of like a little comedic vibe to it, where you just have a bunch of Megans. We're talking little short Megans, like basically Lily, running around with chainsaws. Like I could find some like enjoyment out of that. And I am happy to see that they do have it placed in Springfield, no matter what the theme or whatever the horde's going to be, where instead of them just saying there's a roaming horde around the park, which there was like only 2 to 3 spots you can actually find them, and they were rarely, I think the horde last year really was just weak, in my opinion. But for them to say like this location, Springfield, is going to have a roaming horde here. There'll be moments you walk through and there's nothing, but then there's times when you come through and there's a physical, active roaming horde, and for it be the Megan horde, I'm open for that. I like that. I'm happy to see it. I think I'm just happy to see that. This is actually the only logistic layout of the entire park right now for the event that I'm happy with. And that is Megan, the property that I didn't care for at all, being a horde in Springfield. I think that's a good fit for it.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think? Are you guys more excited to see Carnival of Oddities roaming horde or the Megan roaming horde? Spam 1 for Carnival of Oddities and spam 2 for Megan. I want to see what we got going on.
I'm honestly more excited to see Megan.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like Carnival of Oddities is just gonna be like a typical like, I don't know, carnival theme. But I'm really interested to see like a bunch of like Megan dolls running around with chainsaws. I think that'd be hilarious.
Truthfully, I'm actually split, which is rare for me to say, but I just think like imagining a bunch of Megans running around with chainsaws at people, like I could sit there and watch that
as long as they do it right.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like it could be very hit or miss, like especially if they have like casting issues, and then like you have some people in there, like some characters in there that are like 5'10", and then some that are like,
no, I agree, like
5
it has
foot.
to be
like that'll be
it has to be across the board even. But I think that could be one of those like little roaming hordes where if you guys just like, you know, and this is really from a locals perspective who go, you know, a lot, you know, get your pizza fries, go sit out in Springfield, maybe get a Dufftoberfest and just sit and just watch that. I think that's something that'd be enjoyable. But I like the Carnival of Oddities for the fact of there's more potential there when it comes to the creativity and the originality. Like what could we really put there? And if they do bring it up to the front entrance and all that stuff, I think that's where it'll absolutely win 100%. But I don't know. I really don't know. I hope that the Carnival of Oddities is something really like twisted. I want something twisted.
We'll see.
So that's how I feel about that. But the whole layout and stuff too, with talking about Carnival of Oddities and stuff and keeping it with Oddfellow, where his house is located, as you can see, you have the guitar one and you have the Oddfellow one, and those are going to be the Sprung Tent locations. They're right next to the Nightmare Fuel area, so that's right by the entrance to Men in Black, the attraction. It seems like they're going to want to go ahead and squeeze 2 entrances there and wrap them all the way around Men in Black, the show building, towards those Sprung Tents, and then have the Last of Us be where Descendants of Destruction was last year for their entrance, and have them kind of go around to B108. And the reason being is because Kid Zone is under construction, and there's no way it's going to be done by HHN. There's no way at all. So that's where it seems like that location for where the Last of Us is going to be. And then you have the monsters, which they still have in Kid Zone. And that's because they can actually queue you through ET in a sense. Like, you know, ET's still operating all, so they can actually queue you through ET, get you around the construction site, I believe, and get you to the other parade building there. It's just, I guess they have to walk back, and I don't know. I feel like it's a logistics nightmare right now with that whole area, figuring out the whole like queue lines for the houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't take away from the experience, and I really hope that they add more to the queue lines. They need to enhance the queue lines because it's just, you're walking, it's late. There needs to be some kind of vibe back there. Sometimes when it's just like you're standing.
It does kind of suck back there.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like quiet. Like there's nothing to look at.
I mean, there isn't a single thing. So yeah. Let's go ahead and bring our faces back up on the big screen. Not that you guys want to see it, at least mine. I know everyone wants to see how Steph's face because she's the most beautiful in the room, and we all love her.
Yeah, if they do The Exorcist, a split piece soup. Ugh, that's gross.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, I do think with the map that we have, I think that the food could be themed really well. You got Stranger Things in there, you got The Last of Us in there, you got Chucky. Chucky will be in there. If they do The Exorcist, you got The Exorcist in there. And then what was the other IP? I'm missing one more, aren't I? Oh, and then the monsters, of course. They can have the monsters. And of course, it being Paris, you can have like Paris-themed food. Yeah. French fries.
French fries.
There you go. You can have your little pizza fries and stuff like that.
I feel like Universal doesn't really do French fries very often, other than pizza fries.
Oh, see, somebody said Irfan said a Last of Us mushroom burger.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
a cool
like
idea,
mushrooms.
Hey, but that's the idea, you know? Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, I know I'm getting messages about this. I forgot to bring this up. Hold up, I got so many things going on, I can't even get it. 1 second, folks. 1 second.
Also, Chris said Nightmare Fuel 3. Yes.
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 The Coffin Digger, Nightmare Fuel 3 will be there. I know he's excited about that. To be honest, I don't care for Nightmare Fuel. I really want to see them change the story of it, you know, because like the stunts and everything that they do, yeah, it's cool. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's amazing, but I really do think that Nightmare Fuel needs to have a different storyline to it. Like they could start it with, the whole like bed scene and like it's a nightmare, but that whole story afterwards needs to change. That's what I would like to see. I want to see how far they can take it with a different storyline, because it would. The way I look at it, it's like HHN30 or HHN31. I'm picking 30 for the fact of like it was new, it was fresh, it was like whoa, and then 31, it's like they were like it's wildfire, it's gonna be bigger, better, and then you went into it. It's like the story is the same, they just had more fire.
Yeah, I do think like objectively the second show was like better because it had more to it, more like stunts and fire and things like that. But I do think it lost some of the novelty because we went in like, oh, Nightmare Fuel was so awesome. We can't wait to see what they do with it this year. And then we went in and we were like, oh,
it's like the same thing. Which is, it was disappointing.
I think we were just expecting something completely different, and it wasn't different. And then we were like, oh, because if you look at what were they called? Whoever did the dance show before, Academy of Villains. Yeah. They did like Cyberpunk in 28, and then they did Altered States in 29, and those were completely different shows. Like they didn't reuse anything from those. Yeah. So I think we were all thinking like, oh, it'll be completely different, even though it's the same name. It'll be completely different, and then we were like, oh, it's the same. Yeah. So I'm really I'm looking forward to it. I think this year they will have a different story to it. If they don't, I will be surprised. But I do think that they'll have somewhat of a different storyline with it, behind the idea and stuff. And if so, my question is, it's like, I look at it from the level of like, okay, you had last year, which was more than the year before. So what is this year going to bring to the table that's more than last year? And we're talking like the fire elements and all that stuff. What will that be? So just have to wait to see when it comes to that. Also, Leo S said, if I ever hear Another Way Out, my ears will bleed. Some of the music's overused. Jonathan Avila.
Our man here with the $4.99 said, was feeling a little nostalgic for HHN29 last night, which, welcome to my world, my man. So it came up with a drink right before the live. The Neon Slasher. First pick is in the Discord. Hold up. By the way, Discord has got too many messages. I don't even know. I can't even find it. The Neon Slasher. I love that idea. Guys, if you don't know Jonathan Avila, by the way, he makes our themed Horror Nights drinks. And one day we're going to get him on the show where he gets us like a themed drink for the event or something like that. I like this Neon Slasher one. We're all going to do a cheers to HHN and ring it in the new year, you know? Where is... there's... Oh my gosh. Hey, Jonathan, if you don't mind, send it to me directly if you can. I can't scroll through all the messages. But Jonathan, hey, $4.99, my man. We appreciate it. He's been supporting our channel for a long time. Truly awesome person. We really appreciate it. And the drinks are cool, by the way. And then also bringing up this guy here, Jim Daniels, again, back with the 20, saying, hard for me to believe HHN will deliver since they have failed so badly up till now. The way I look at it is the announcement season was a fail. I don't know if there's anything they can do to really turn it around announcement season-wise, but I do have good hopes for the event itself. So when we actually get to go there, I think it'll be one of those, like, finally, like,
Yeah.
we're Steph and I are hungry for HHN right now. We are craving it. We want to just be at the park and see the Horror Nights stuff, you know, getting out on the streets and all. And I think we're going to get to that point. I think people are going to be like, because of the fact that this announcement season's just been so dry, for us as the fans to finally get to Horror Nights, we're like, yes, this is what we've been wanting, to where it's kind of like going in with low expectations, where it's like, okay, like this was better, you know? So I'm hoping that's what's going to create logically in the mind. When we go there, our expectations are lower because of the announcement season, and we end up enjoying it more.
I will say that because the announcement season has been so slow, I have noticed that I'm like, we're already like in July.
We're about to be in mid-July.
Like, we're basically almost in August, which is basically September.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's the way Steph and I look at it. August is Horror Nights through us because that's when the props go out. That's like what starts for real. And truthfully, if you guys remember, in last year, in late July, we had props going up. Currently, right now, as we are speaking, there are HHN light truss like structures in the park for Horror Nights already going up. So they are in prep already for HHN.
Yeah.
It's physically being done. And later into the month, we'll actually probably see some like themed props and structures.
Yeah.
That is going to be exciting. And we're going to do our best to try to cover some construction update videos for you guys when all that stuff comes out. So all you guys can see it, because why not, right?
We also, I don't know if you can
Jim, my man, I appreciate it with the 20. My man.
I don't know if you can see it on your end.
I can't.
But Jim also gifted some memberships.
Oh, sweet. Jim also with a 5 gifted memberships. Anybody who just picked up a membership from Jim, please give him a huge thanks. And welcome to the Fright Club, guys. Does it show the names?
Yes.
So who we got? We got Universal Tile was gifted, JC Smith, Diana Mickelson, Katie, and Mando. Welcome back to the Fright Club, guys. Good to have you again. And then Brad over here with 10 months in the Fright Club, which that's when the Fright Club started. Well, technically, when we started the memberships and stuff like that. But we're talking way before he's been supporting us. Said, I want you to read it. I can't really see it over there.
Yo, where's the picture of the Discord's most interesting man in the world, aka the coffin digger himself? I was told it would be here.
So I was actually gonna have it in this live stream. We got so far behind with certain things. I'm gonna have it in the next live stream, but if you guys want to know, here's a quick glance. I don't know if you can really see it. The brightness is too turned up. I'm gonna say this: you guys got to join our Discord if you guys want to see that. The coffin digger, the famous one and only. We got good stuff in the Discord. And also a lot of I think majority of the Discord, basically what they do, they just trash talk me the entire time. So we go back and forth at it. It's quite fun. And I'm going to go ahead and drop a link for that Discord again. But we'll have that picture up in the next one.
We like to talk about food too. So if you like to talk about food.
Steph loves to talk about the food. But yeah, here is the link for the Discord, guys. Don't forget to join us. And we have an after party coming up after tonight's live stream where we're going to discuss a couple of other things. And basically that's when the whole chains holding me back of saying what I want to say is released, and I could just absolutely let whatever I need to out. So make sure you guys are there for the after party. We got a lot to talk about. But yeah,
after 2.5 hours of talking, you want to talk even more?
Yeah, there's 24 hours in a day, guys. If 24 hours in a day could go to 24 in a minute or 25 hours, I could break that record. Easily. No problem.
Yes.
So, but anyways, hey, thank you. Shout out again, Jim, the donations, and for the gifted members. Brad, again, for being a part of the team here. It means a lot. We appreciate you guys. And for everybody being here, we still have 140 people watching us right now.
Yeah.
We've been an hour and a half, basically, of talking about just random HHN stuff. I mean, it means a lot to see you guys in here. We do love it. Especially when we have a bunch of stuff on the outside that's just like, I want to pull my hair out. So finally getting in here to talk about it.
And when we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Even though it's not official.
Yeah.
It's something, right? Now, I do want to bring one thing up. Yeah, we also, we're counting one more hour until we break the record, guys, for the longest live stream we've ever had. Everybody, hashtag Team Steph. Come on, you can pull through, kid.
Tyler asked, what does Dracula say right before devour them?
We won't discuss that yet. Well, save it. It's a secret. Welcome to the secret societies. Yeah. I know that was mentioned in the chat. Tyler wants to have that.
Oh, and welcome to Alexa Lobbins. Welcome to the Fright Club.
There you go. Yeah, Alexa joining the Fright Club. Welcome in. Fright Club beginner. Shout out. Make sure you join the Discord, by the way. We have an exclusive little channel for Fright Club members and stuff to discuss things that the general chat doesn't get to see. But Alexa, hey, thank you for joining and welcome aboard. Good to have you. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick because I did say I wanted to show you guys. Let me make sure I get the right one, though. All right, so we were talking about, international locations for Horror Nights. So if we pull this up, right? So this is this is their claimed official website for Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, great. Yeah, right. Really cool and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it's not like what it used to be. I'm still going strong. Today marked day 29 of asking Horror Nights on Twitter and Instagram to bring back their website. And all they sent us was a picture of someone's eyes cropped out. Which, by the way, that picture of those eyes, if you guys can actually make it into some seriously high resolution and zoom in on the eyes, you can see the reflection off the eyes. So depending what that reflection is going to give you the answers you see. So if somebody can do that, if you have some high government equipment that can do that, let us know. But let's pull this up. Our friends over in the land of the rising sun, Japan here. Look at this. When you click onto Japan, this is what pulls up. Look at how insane this looks.
It's pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie, that is intense. What? The lady on the right, that is me. This is me right now. But of happiness when I see all of this. What the heck? You talk about just doing it. You talk about just doing it. We're gonna do Halloween Horror Nights. This is how you do it. That is intense. That looks insane. And if we continue with that, we're gonna click the view details and stuff. Hey, can we get some claps in the chat for Japan?
Yeah.
Right? So look at this artwork. Look at everything they got, guys. Supposedly they got a big announcement and stuff. And, they got way more than what we got at this point right now. And yet we're the nation's premier Halloween event, right? But look at all the stuff that they got. I mean, look at our boy Dracula over here with the monsters and stuff. More zombies than ever before, and a full complement of hyper terrifying horror. What?
Hyper terrifying.
Scream at the top of your lungs and let it all out. All right, I love that. But here's the thing. Look, they got the lineup. Look, they got street zombies. They got zombies that dance. They got a little dance party too for it. Chucky's Carnival of Chaos. The Dark Horror Ride. What is that? Biohazard, The Extreme, Universal Monsters, Legends of Fear, and another ride. Look Okay, Japan.
It looks cool.
Okay, Japan. But like, look, they got some stuff. You know, I'm still against this whole idea of having just a universal type of website. I want them to go back to like what this is, and like being its own like website practically. Like, I want that. I miss that. But like, man, like, why can't we get something like that? Because if you go to ours, it's gonna take me some time. I'm trying to learn how to do this quicker, but if you go to ours, this is what we got, you know? Last of Us, awesome, cool. And then, yeah, that's it. It just, you know, Last of Us doesn't even show Chucky. Check back more for haunted houses, which we will never reveal. Then it says 10 terrifying haunted houses, 5 sinister scare zones. So, are we actually getting 5 scare zones still? That's the only reason why I got hopes that, you know, the spec map doesn't include, it's not including everything at this point, because they have 5 scare zones written down right here. And the reason why I feel confident about it is because if they updated this part, then they should have updated this part, even though these have not moved for the past 2 years, basically. So yeah, that's ours right now. You know, cool, whatever. And oh yeah, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. This. Does it seem like it's missing something? Like, that's the Halloween Horror Nights like logo, right? It used to say Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, and like it used to be bigger and stuff like that. I know they did like a whole rebranding. I guess the Horror Nights logo kind of got a rebrand to it too. It's not like Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. It's just Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not against that, but it just looks empty. So I don't know. What's y'all's take on that? What do you guys think? I need to know what you guys think. I mean, yeah, look at that. Last of Us.
Yeah,
Pretty
this
cool.
looks kind of boring.
So yeah, it's like you look at the Japan one and you're like, holy smokes. Actually, can we, hold up, I didn't even think about this. Can we pull up the Singapore one real quick? Let me see what Singapore looks like. Yeah, I mean, like.
Well, this is cool too.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get Singapore here. Here's the Singapore one. When you click on Singapore from that Horror Nights thing, you know, Universal Studios Singapore Halloween Horror Nights 11. Select nights from September 29th to November 4th. This person's trying to call him. This guy better pick up. I don't think he is. But yeah, All of Us Are Dead. Netflix. And we mentioned this in a live stream before, but Netflix, this is a joint effort with Universal and Netflix out in Singapore. This is why I have high hopes that Stranger Things will actually happen, or at least some Netflix property for our event, because it shows that they have a good relationship out over there in Singapore right now. It's like, would you survive the zombie outbreak at that place? So yeah, so like that's what they got.
At
and
that place.
if I click right here, let's see, grab your early bird tickets. Let's see, be the first to get bitten. Let's go to get bitten. And then, yeah, then you're, you know, that. We're not going to worry about that. Oh, that's not even the same screen. You guys don't see it. That's fine. You don't need to see it. But yeah, so anyways.
What?
That's what they got right now.
Interesting. I think it was to sign up for
tickets and stuff. Or like
to
newsletter.
get an email when tickets go on.
Is this all they got right now, though?
Looks like it.
It's cool, though. I still think that's neat. So. But yeah, I mean, it just like, and I know like the Japan and Singapore one, they really go off of like zombies a lot and stuff like that. And I know the people out here in the States, they're like, no more zombies, please. But like, if it's done well, it could be fun. But I just see them like, I mean, you look at those websites, Japan and Singapore, it's like, look at the artwork. Like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. And then ours is just, this is what's coming. Here's this and that and all that stuff. It seems very clean, which I'm not against. I think it is very clean. I do like it, but give us a video. Like, give me some promotion stuff, you know? Yeah. I want promotional things, man. I'm dying for it. So, unfortunate. But yeah, here we are, folks. Hour and 34 minutes. We went in. If you guys are just joining us now, right now, we've discussed the entire speculation map. Basically, we went over some of the logistic layouts and things we were worried about, especially with the scare zones and the whole minion land. Talked about the houses, our thoughts on the houses, our thoughts on the scare zones, the shows, and things like that. And then we discussed a little bit of some international HHN. You know, we talked about our friends out on the coast of Japan and Singapore, talked about their events and stuff. One thing I realized we haven't really talked about is Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, if you guys give me a second, we need to actually discuss Hollywood in a big way, which I forgot. Let me pull up Hollywood spec map real quick. And there's something we need to talk about. So here's the Hollywood spec map. We're not going to get into details of Hollywood. Steph and I, we got our tickets to go to HHN out in Hollywood. And we just got like the basic general ticket with like their little early admission. Prices are expensive. And when you buy a house, everything is much more expensive. So we just got like the basic general admission just to go. And we're like, screw it. We're just going to try to do everything as we can, as much as we can. We're going for 2 nights out there, at least. Mm-hmm. So we have some interest for Hollywood, right? But we're not going to talk too much about the speculation map, except for one thing, and that is the Evil Dead Rise being on this map.
If we don't get it in Orlando, if they can at least get it in Hollywood, I'll be happy. Because we're going this year.
Yeah. But Evil Dead Rise, like, the reason why I could see this actually happening in Hollywood is because they would just use the same set pieces that they've had
from last year.
Yeah, for the past 2 years for this house to be. And so I feel like, you know, this is a way for them to save money. And I know, like, Hollywood finds a way to try to save as much money as they can, especially in recent years, by reusing things. So I could see them just definitely reusing this and making it the Evil Dead versus that Universal Hotel original that they did. But if Hollywood gets Evil Dead Rise and we don't in Orlando, like I said, I get why they would have it in Hollywood, but why not in Orlando as well? Like, you know, they've been doing this dual coast thing for a while. Like, if you guys can see, we have Universal Monster Paris, we have Chucky, we have The Exorcist, we have Stranger Things, we have The Last of Us, but not Evil Dead Rise. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a surprise, but maybe that's like the only thing they can make work out there, and it'd be to draw people out to Hollywood.
Maybe. What does it say for Terror Tram?
Celebrities. So like Nicolas Cage. Right? I'm not against that. I know Nicolas Cage just got put into what is it called? Dead by Daylight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been seeing clips of that. It's actually kind of funny.
What do you think the owl is?
I really don't know. Anybody think what the owl is going to be? I don't know.
Is Megan a house?
No, Roaming Horde.
Oh.
Roaming Horde.
I can't read that. I know that they've done that Holidays one. It's even smaller.
It's smaller. Yeah, never mind. I had to make it better.
They did that Holidays one before, right?
Yeah, I think, well...
I don't know if it'll be the same,
like that,
but they have done that one before over there.
Yeah, I don't really know what the owl one is. Yeah, I don't know. It is a house, though, because they do have 8 houses that they're having for the event out over there. And yeah, Nicolas Cage is in the chat. What's up? Good seeing you. It's been a while. Someone call for me? I can hear his voice.
Someone said it might be like something related to lore, like a Mexican lore. I don't know.
When it comes to Hollywood, we really don't know anything. So, but we're excited to like go and experience it. We've never been out there to Universal Hollywood, so we'll be doing that this year. And if they have Evil Dead Rise, I'd love to see it out there, but I would be disappointed if that's the only place we can see it and not here in Orlando. Because looking at like our spec map, like I don't know. I like our spec map, but I probably would be like, get rid of Exorcist to put Evil Dead Rise there.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Speaking of Exorcist, I know we're off of our spec map, but do we think that's going to be like the original or the new Blumhouse video?
This is also like dead. The Exorcist?
Yeah, because it doesn't say Blumhouse.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised too that we don't really have like a Blumhouse house speculated right now for the event, because they've been strong for the past few years. That's attending.
Fine with me. I don't really care for the whole like two movie like house thing. I feel like half of a house for most movies and most houses is just not enough to get like a full, like a full plot line or anything in like half of a house. You only get like 3 or 4 rooms.
Yeah.
And then like if it's a movie that's not going to make a good full house, just don't use that movie.
Yeah, so let me hop back over here. Hold up. Let me pull this back up. So this is our spec map. If you guys are just joining us, we're just hopping back into the spec map to talk about some of the layouts and stuff. Chucky, they have it in the Five Nights at Freddy's, which we do have to talk about. I forgot about it. We have to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. But the Chucky one is in the Fast and Furious location. I think this is a good location for it because isn't there 2 seasons of Chucky that is out? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Anybody in the chat, can you guys let us know how many seasons of that show, Chucky, and either you guys will win it or Steph's pulling it up.
What is it on?
Like Sci-Fi, right? USA. There are 2. 3 is coming. So this will be actually a perfect location for it because this location is split like they had last year for Blumhouse where you had Freaky and then you had Black Phone. So this would actually work out where that first section of the house is season 1. And then when you go in that outside transition piece, it could be season 2 for Chucky. Yeah. So I think this would be a good location for that. I'm still interested to see how they're going to do this as a house. But I think putting it in the Fast and Furious location, cool. That's, I think, a good spot. We'll just say that. And then everything else. I mean, I'm happy to see The Last of Us again in a parade building. Monsters house. I'm actually really excited for Monsters after what we were told. I think that one's going to be really fun. That one seems like it's going to be back into that location that Legends Collide was in from last year. And then we got a couple strong houses out in the parade or in the sound stages. We actually only have 2 like IPs in the sound stages and 3 originals, which is like
that's kind of weird.
But I think it's a good idea to spread the event out, to have some major IPs in the back, some in the front. I think it's a good thing. But guys, I'm overall worried about the layout and the logistics, but I'm very hopeful and excited for the actual for the event this year. And I think it's just because we've been in such a drought with nothing really going on. No fun. There hasn't been any fun this announcement season, guys. Which is kind of a bummer. But just as a reminder, I am dropping the Discord link. If you guys haven't already, join our Discord, where our man Brad manages it all there. We will be hosting our after party shortly after our live stream. Brad's probably going to go ahead and if you guys don't know Brad, Two-Face, he's going to go ahead and set up the whole after party chat for Discord. You guys will see it on the left side of the screen, basically, when you open it up. You can join in there. He's going to get it all set up for you guys to talk. And once Steph and I get this all settled, get Hondo taken out, all that stuff, then we'll be joining in for the after party. And then we could start the party, which is basically going to be us yelling and stuff.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
That was a dog. That was not Hondo, though.
No.
We'll have Hondo. Hondo's going to be at the after party. He's the DJ.
Someone did ask, other than, I think, hold on. Besides Stranger Things, what houses on the spec map are we most looking forward to?
All right, you only get to pick 2, though.
And not Stranger Things.
Yeah, not Stranger Things. You can only pick 2. Because I would say, yeah, Stranger Things is up there, obviously. But what would be the 2 houses?
Honestly, they're probably going to be the same as yours. But The Last of Us and Monsters.
Okay.
What are yours?
Two-Face is going to be mad with me.
You're going to say Dueling Dragons.
Yeah. Monsters is always one of those most anticipated houses for me because it's the classic Monsters. It touches home for Steph and I. And I'm excited to see the route they're going to go with Monsters. The Last of Us, I know it's going to be a beautiful house. I know the bar for that one, and I'm excited to see it. But truthfully, like right now, like I'm really excited for the originals this year. Like the Oddfellow house, I want to see the storyline because the theory that Steph and I have.
Pick 2.
I know. Hold up, I'm getting there. But the Oddfellow house, like I'm looking forward to it because of the theory that Steph and I have and what it plays to more of the lore of the event itself. I want to see it fall in that same line that's in my mind, because I'm like, oh yeah, then this is setting up for something really cool. Then the little like Yeti house, little campy outdoor like kind of style, like I'm down to see something like that too. But the Dueling Dragons house, like to have some medieval type of vibe and dragons and stuff. You guys know I've been really pushing for Game of Thrones to come to the event. This house does very well, and it's doing good on that end. And then The Last of Us does good. We can talk about maybe HBO getting in the mix at some point. I would love to see Game of Thrones at some point. I'm really hoping that house does well, and I think that's why I'm looking forward to it, because I'm hoping it does well. So I would probably say the top two, besides Stranger Things, Monsters always, of course, it's kind of a cheat for me, and then Dueling Dragons, I think.
Yeah, that was the one that I thought was going to be different. I do think that like I get more excited for, like, especially with like the spec map, like we don't know like what those little symbols are. We have no idea like what those houses are. So I have a hard time getting like excited for those. Maybe once we get an announcement and we actually know like what those are, maybe I'll be more excited for those. But because we don't know what it is, I guess I'm just not as excited.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I get what you're saying. It's like, for the instance, like with the when it comes to the spec map, right? And you see like the original houses, going back, and I'm probably going to keep repeating myself, and I'm going to be a broken record. What I'm really worried about is the layout of the event, and that's obviously how announcement season has kind of been leading up to it. I am excited for this event. I think this year is going to be good. I really do. I think people are going to look at this year and be like, overall, this event was solid. You know, it wasn't that like this thing was so good, but this lacked. I think there's going to be a good balance in houses, scare zones, and everything. It's just the logistics. But what I'm worried about is the fact that, you know, we have these originals that have content to them, right? And because we're already up to almost mid-July here, it does seem like we're going to get another originals and scare zones dump as an announcement, which sucks so bad, because you get Oddfellow as a house. If it is a house, I want that to be its own video. I want that to be lore based, and I want to see something story driven. If we get the Dueling Dragons house, like I would love to see that be its own, like if it is related to the Dueling Dragons ride that they have, and kind of make it to something like that, I would love to see that its own story for that. I want to see its own announcement. Same with the other ones. Like if we're getting like the Swamp Yeti from, correct me, what's the house? Slaughter Cinema. If we are getting that, I would like to see that little promo ad of Swamp Yeti being a film, like a B film. I want to see that as the ad like they had in Slaughter Cinema. Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about, is that they're missing these opportunities. And I know it's obviously budget and stuff like that, but these are prime examples for why it's like, that's what could really make these houses even more anticipated for me. And I just have a feeling they're not going to do such a thing. And it's got me like, all right, if they're not building up the hype for it, then it's like, if it does not hit the mark, it's not going to hit the mark at all for the whole event. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I feel like at least last year they did like one of those like dumps where they just had like all of the originals announced, but then at least they had like the, you know, those podcasts that they released, which like at least it added something. But like we need those like sooner rather than like a week before the event.
Look,
I love podcasts, so
here's the thing. I'm not against it. I like it, but I have so many ideas for Horror Nights, and I know there's so many people out there, and I know all of you guys in the chat probably have ideas for the event too. And it's just sitting here, and it's like, it's kind of like a bummer where, you know, we're not seeing, and it's not where it's like, oh, they're not using my idea. No, that's not the thing. It's just the ideas that I have for the event are not just like, oh, it'd be cool to see this at the event or that at the event. It's more in the logistics standpoint of, you know, I think this would enhance the event. You know, it's not like, oh, I want to see Stranger Things. Like, that'd be cool. That's my idea. It's more of like, if they logistically did this with their marketing and they set up certain structures at these points, I think it could enhance the event overall. And when I see something like that I truly believe in, and I just don't see it happening, and I know there's millions of other people, I mean thousands, that have ideas like that too, that when you don't see that actually take place for a multi-billion-dollar company who thrives off of HHN, it's like, it's like you guys are missing, like, you're missing out on big opportunities here that people will rave about for years to happen. Like HHN25 is still talked about to this day as one of the best years that we've had at Horror Nights. And look at everything they did in announcement season leading up to it. Look at the website, all that stuff. Look at the way the design of the parks and the logistics layout was. There's a reason why that event is continuously talked about as one of the best. It's because it was built up to be that way. I feel like these past years, it's like we just have HHN going on. You know, it's like just copy and paste the template. You know, 10 houses, 5 scare zones. 10 houses, 5 scare zones. And the announcements have been getting pushed back, and it just seems like, you know, somebody's got to get on top of it at some point. So, all right.
All right.
Smooth operator. Jonathan Avila, my man, back with the $4.99, saying, how would you feel about an HHN cookbook? Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Do we need to go further in conversation?
I would pay for that.
Featuring some of the most popular foods from each year and some original creations. P.S. Sent you the pic in Discord. Perfect. Let me pull that up. Jonathan, yeah, I mean, I would love. Awesome. I think like a HHN cookbook would be great. And can I pull something up for you guys real quick? Real quick, let me pull this up. Okay, so I wanted to pull that up real quick for the fact of like, they could do like a whole meats show and like do like little recipes like that. And they could put that in their YouTube channels and like videos and marketing stuff. And it's like, you know, this time on Cooking with Meats. And it's like, you know, an actual recipe at HHN. And they could be like a cool little 10-minute, 15-minute show and stuff like that. Like things like that they could easily do that just interact with the audience and the guests and stuff. And I honestly think that we're going to do that idea now.
What?
The idea I just stated. We're going to do it. Jonathan, get the cookbook ready. Get the recipe book. We're going to do it. All right. You were saying something. I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
Beth wants to know why Steph looks so sad.
I already responded. That's what I was going to say.
I'm just tired.
I just said my bedtime is literally like 9 p.m. So I'm tired.
We can wrap it up if you want.
No, you got to reach your 2.5 hours.
We don't have to. We could save the record for an August show. And here's the thing. I will tell you guys, when we have our countdown to HHN series in August, we are going to have episodes or live streams that are probably going to reach 3 hours. Steph may not be here for the entirety of it, but I will.
We'll see.
So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're probably going to wrap it up here. We only got to 1 hour and 53 minutes. But yeah, Steph is tired. She's going to be up early in the morning. And we do actually have a lot of work tomorrow we have to get on, especially with the house and all that stuff. But any last minute wishes, folks? Any last words? Remember, we have our after party that we're going to be doing after this too. So it does not end here. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link real quick for you guys. Join the Discord.
What are you guys all most excited for from the spec map? Like, what is your number one most anticipated, I guess?
Yeah. What do you guys are anticipating to be the best at for the if the speculation map holds up? What do you guys think is going to be the top one that you guys are looking forward to? And we will be doing a video in August of our most anticipated, but we have to wait for actual official announcements. So
yeah. Also, someone asked when the next live stream is. It will be next Friday. So maybe.
Yes.
Next Friday, same time. So
yes, currently.
And they also said hopefully we get an announcement before then. And yeah, hopefully we get something maybe like Thursday. That would be nice.
Yeah, if we can get like an official thing, that'd be great.
We will see. Oh, we didn't talk about this, but and I know this is Hollywood, but Murdy had tweeted out this week that they were doing like a marathon shoot of all of the videos for the announcements, like this weekend or this week or something like that.
Like they're filming them.
But it's like, so they're just now filming them.
For Hollywood.
And he did also confirm on Twitter that he'll be announcing something at Midsummer Scream.
Which is July 30th. So,
and then he also said, someone asked, so are we not getting an announcement before then? He just kind of said ... So
yeah, so it's like we
no idea.
Could probably, I don't know, like if we don't, I'm gonna be surprised. We need an announcement.
That is for Hollywood though, but they've been doing these like dual coast things lately. So
what I think we're gonna get is we'll actually have an announcement dual coast wise, and then his announcement that he gives in Midsummer Scream will actually just be for Hollywood. Yeah, and I think that's how it's gonna go.
I think typically if they announce anything at Midsummer Scream, it's normally just a Hollywood one.
Yeah. See, like Justin said Scarecrow was what they announced. Yeah,
They
and that's how
announced-
they're going to probably do it this year too.
They announced the holidays one at Midsummer Scream when they had the holidays house too. So
yeah, we'll probably get
See, they always get an announcement at theirs, and we never get an announcement at ours.
Yeah, the one that we had here this year was just everything this year, man. Really, see, I'm going to get back on my horse here of complaining.
We might make it to 2.5 hours.
Right. The beginning of the announcement season back in January, February. I don't remember the date, but we got an announcement for a year-round permanent Horror Nights attraction coming to Vegas. I was like, no way. I was like, yes, this is the right path. And I thought, holy smokes, we are going to get some stuff for announcement season this year. This is going to be better than the past year. And then HNNightmares was like, yo, hey, it's February. It's kind of early, but we're going to throw a speculation map out there. I was like, yeah. So I truly did think that we were really going to dive into getting a good announcement season this year. And I thought contracts and things like that were going to flow better because, we're getting away from that whole pandemic vibe and stuff like that, where everything is on top, everything's on schedule and stuff. So I was like, yeah, this should be good. And here we are in, it's July 7th and we have one announcement for Orlando this calendar year. That's it, just one. You just got one thing, and that was in June. It's about a month ago.
So and you can even see in the whenever they do post anything on Twitter, they posted on this new Threads app and stuff. Whenever they post anything, all the comments are so hostile. Everybody's just what? We don't care about this. Give us an announcement. What are you doing?
Yeah. And then, Gamer Marsh brought this up. I keep forgetting we have to mention this. I have a question. Is there a Five Nights at Freddy's Scare Zone this year? No. But
at least not that we know of.
Five Nights at Freddy's will be at Horror Nights. Kind of like how Chucky was at Horror Nights with the promotional stuff. I don't know if we'll get an actual photo op. We may get some merch, possibly. But I know for a fact that they're pushing the Peacock promotions and stuff. And last year, if you guys remember the medallion and some of the posters they had throughout the park, they actually put some of the properties that were at HHN that are on Peacock that you can find streaming on Peacock with a whole promo thing. So I think this year, and I know there are photos, we posted this a couple days ago, there are photos, and we talked about it in the Discord, but in Hollywood, at Universal Hollywood, they actually have Five Nights at Freddy's posters that are up, promoting it on Peacock coming out in October. So I do think that we will be getting that same kind of promotional love in Orlando to some extent. So you could see it to that extent, but I don't think we're going to get anything else along the lines of that. But depending on how that goes, that could be very promising for future stuff with Five Nights at Freddy's to appear at the event. Just kind of like how Chucky did. Like we had a little promotional stuff in March with Chucky. Now we're getting it as a house. So I think that's where Five Nights at Freddy's is going with their route. So anyways, 2 hours officially, ladies and gentlemen. 22 minutes short of the record. But I think this is where we're going to stop it. We still got 113 people here. Shout out to you guys. Hey, thanks for joining us. It is.
Why did that happen? The light was like, all right, you guys are done.
Somebody just turned the light on. What the heck?
There we go.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not had a live stream in the past like 2 months that hasn't had some kind of light issue. That was weird. So what was I saying? What? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so thanks so much for joining us in this Friday afternoon live stream. We're going to be doing live streams on Fridays here now into August, and we'll have some multiple live streams in August and stuff where we do Tuesdays and Fridays and stuff like that for the week. But hey, if you guys are just joining us, welcome to the end of it. I hate saying it. I know some people do, and they're like, I just got here, and it's like, sorry, we're leaving here.
It is
but
10:30.
We will break the record another day. I promise you, August will have plenty of those record-breaking live streams coming up. We'll do that. If you guys haven't already joined us on Discord, make sure you guys join us over on Discord. We're going to be doing an after party here in a few minutes where Two-Face is going to set it up and all that stuff. Go ahead and join in, and we'll be joining in shortly to just discuss some things with you guys and stuff like that. But there you go. We got the third version of the speculation map out. Some official, well, not official, but some things to talk about Horror Nights related. We even, hopped over the pond and talked about Japan and Singapore a bit, stuff like that. Because our folks out over there, they actually got some official announcements. So congrats to you guys. I wish we were like y'all right now, but soon, hopefully soon, we'll get something like that. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did enjoy the live stream, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, help out with the stream, give it some likes and stuff like that. But we're going to be wrapping it up here because we got to get Hondo, and Steph is slowly drifting off. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You did good.
See, we can do it.
Right. Well, with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight in this live stream. We will be having some of our the beginners of HHN videos coming out. And for those of you that follow us in the Discord, you guys got to see a little behind the scenes sneak peek of last night's filming for episode 1 of our Countdown to HHN series on Instagram. Some fun stuff. So with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for us today in the live stream. Until that next video, we'll see you guys there, and hopefully we'll see you sooner than later with some official words. So peace out, everybody. Bye.
You didn't say we'll catch you in the fog.
Oh, and we'll catch you in the fog. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.